Welcome to Albion. Today I'm gonna explain on how to reach IP of 1400 to 1600 and what is the best way to fame farm and how to spec up and what to spec up and how to maximize your spec tree as fast as possible with the highest IP as fast as possible. So stay in the video. Don't forget your like and subscribe, and let's begin. What is fame and combat fame? I'm gonna explain everything I know about them, and anything I will learn, I will just drop it to the YouTube channel. So, the fame is something you get by killing mobs or killing players. Sometimes when you kill a player, let me check in here, that's not down yet. When you kill a player, you will get fame by from them. But I'm not really sure about the kill fame, to be honest, if it will be counted as a combat fame or not. But what I'm 100% sure about the mob fame, it's gonna be the fame you will get for in here. Also the PvP killing fame, it's gonna go to your total fame. That's one of the stuff. And the other fame type, which is the combat fame. The combat fame is you get it by killing mobs and killing players, I guess. And when you have enough for, let's say, in here for example, I don't use royal jacket much. So when you want to spec up your a weapon, you can use the combat fame to do so. As you can see here, I want to reach it to level 100 for example. I'm gonna need 7 million, which is relatively 7 group dungeons, and that's from level 37 to 100. And to get the combat fame, you have two methods. I'm gonna explain later on in the video, and I'm gonna now explain on how to get the spec up to reach to 1300 to 1400. Here you have, let's say I'm gonna be talking about my shapeshifter. As you can see here, I'm 1600 IP on the entire armor. So how did I reach this IP and unlock the mission? First of all, I'm gonna talk about the shapeshifter. So let's say I'm using the light color, which is an artifact weapon. So what is an artifact weapon? It's a weapon that gonna, hold up, wait, it's lagging. Okay, it's gonna be taking a specific item to craft. For example, in here I need this one to craft the light color, or maybe let's say in here this is an artifact weapon as well. You will need one of these and two of these. So non-artifact weapons, you just need one of these. I mean, like that. So let me demonstrate on something else, because shapeshifter is kind of bit different, but it's still the same concept. So in here, let's say in the daggers, you can see in here the artifact weapon. It's gonna take one of this to craft the bloodletter, for example, which is an artifact weapon. Same with this, same with this, same with this, and this, the crystal lamp. The non-artifact weapons, you just need resources like steel bar and worked leather. For example, in this one, dagger pair, you don't need artifact. Clothes, you don't need artifact. So that's how that's the difference between artifact and non-artifact weapon. So if your main weapon is an artifact weapon, for example in here I'm using light color, you have to spec the first 3 non-artifact weapons to level 60. As you can see in here, I have this one 60, 62 even because I'm working on it, and 89. But you have to reach to 60 as well. The artifact weapons, you have to reach to level 51. 51. And crystal, any crystal weapon you have to try always to make it 100 because it affects your armor based on what you are using. For example, I'm using hunter tool weapons, it's gonna affect my leather armor. If I'm using staff or mage like fire healer curse or arcane or whatever it is, it's gonna affect my cloth. If I'm using, for example, swords, axe, mace, hammer, these stuff, it's gonna affect my plate armor. Okay, so what if the scenario, if I'm using a non-artifact weapon, let's say I'm using one of these three, and I want to spec up the rest, what level should it be? So the non-artifact weapons, let's say I'm using the root bound, which is PvP, or ZVZ. All the main one should be 100. By the way, of course, in the other one you should be 100 as well. On the light collar, for example, you should be level 100 on the main weapon, and the rest non-artifact weapon, two non-artifact weapons to level 51, and four artifact weapons to level 51, which are these 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be 51. And in here it should be 100 the crystal, as I said always. Now I'm gonna explain how do you use your combat fame correctly, and how to get fame in the most efficient way. At least for me, it's working most efficiently. So first of all, you have the combat fame. When you reach to, for example, let's say I want to spec up my, where is it? I'm working on the blazing because it's a main role in group dungeon. I had this yesterday to level 91. It was level 13 or 14 maybe, within just couple group dungeons. So how do I want to reach 1600 with the blazing? I will follow what I said. I'm gonna do here 1, 2, 3, the first non-artifact weapons to level 51. I will use a fame book just to open the first level, and once I do open the first level, I'm gonna click on that. Where is it? Click on this and maximize, make it to level 51. I'll, for example, let me find something I can make it 51. Okay, maybe level 11. I want to make it level 51. I'm gonna need around 3 million combat fame, which is around 3 or 4 group dungeons. Unfortunately, I have nothing to spec up. I have nothing to show how to spec it up and how to unlock it. So you have certain builds. Let's say you find a team in looking for a group, or maybe in the chat or somewhere, or if you have a guild, you can join them and do the group dungeons with them. For okay, you can do group dungeons with them and so on, and that way you can join group dungeons. And I prefer to do group dungeons 8.2 because it gives you the most fame and loot as well. Let me check where did I have my fame at.
Get off.
My loot, because I'm pretty sure I had I had some stuff I haven't sold from the group dungeon. No, I sold it. Okay, for example, I have this one. I got it from a group dungeon, and I want to sell it, but unfortunately it's not being sold. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it if someone wants to message me to buy it. Uh, so as I said in here, doing group dungeon 8.2 is the most profitable and the most famed farming you can use, and it's actually cheap. Group dungeon tier 8.2, 300,000. And if you are four or five or maximum six, you can just split the amount and it's gonna be cheap for you guys. You can use certain builds. For example, in here you need just a tank, healer, Badon, Shadow Caller, Blazing, and Light Caller is an extra, but I have to use it since I have the max spec on it. So you just need one, two, three, four, five in the group, and you're good to go. And I will make another video. Maybe I'll make a video about the builds based on the comments. I don't know. So that's all for me today, and I hope I have helped you on the spec up and how to reach the IP, etc. And I wish you all a good luck in your game. And I'm out.